Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people and my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast. For today, we're talking NWA Saturday Night on TBS, July 9th, 1988. I'm sitting here with Harper and not Doc Turner. Doc is, he couldn't make it, and something just hit me. I'm supposed to get you to read something. While I pull that up, Harper, I'm going to send it to you via Messenger because it's on my computer. And I'm going to get you to read this shortly. But Harper and I are sitting here. Lance is supposed to join us tonight. He is running a little bit late though, but I gotta get something to Harper right now. So Harper, while I'm pulling this up, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm waiting for Lance, man. I can't wait to see the little fella.
Can you imagine the cloud he's living on right now with SMU national TV?
They're ranked 15th.
Doc told me something today. They're ranked higher than Notre Dame.
Texas, Notre Dame, the Texas Longhorns, I think, right? Dude, yes. When you think about it, out of all those schools in Texas, I think they're ranked the highest when you think about it. From UT, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Baylor, TCU, I mean, all of them. I think they're the highest ranked Texas school. Fuck.
College football rankings. let me. I'm genuinely curious right now what this looks like. So let's see. They're ranked 15th, right? The AP top 25. They're ranked 15th, and let's see. You are right. Notre Dame is 16th, so they're ranked higher than them. Texas is ranked. Shit, Texas ain't even ranked according to the AP.
Fucking Kansas almost beat them.
You are absolutely right, man. They are.
Isn't that crazy, bruh?
Freaking SMU is ranked higher than Texas.
Ford Field is probably the last place that you want to play at in Texas right now. Right. How fucked up is that?
God damn. What a dream world he's living in.
They're like, fuck that 12th man at fucking A&M. Or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Baylor. They're ranked. Baylor is ranked higher than them.
Yeah. So I think they're fucking undefeated. Maybe.
Yeah. Baylor is ranked higher than them. So that's the only team, and that's kind of a miracle in itself. Not a miracle. I don't know if anybody expected Baylor to be ranked there. Let me add in Lance. He's on. Go ahead. Keep going.
And it's two private schools as well.
Isn't that crazy?
Hey.
Lance, we're already recording. We're talking about
live.
We are live. We're talking about SMU being nearly the top ranked school in Texas. Baylor's actually number 12. So you got a big weekend coming. By the time this aired, either your heart would have been broken or maybe not. I know you don't even give a damn about SMU, but we're just going to go on with the narrative.
Bizarro season. Hey, man, I'm on the bandwagon. So let's do it on Saturday. By the time we heard this, maybe win or lose, but we'll see.
We'll see. And for the record, if you're not a Patreon member, Lance broke the news on the most recent World Class show. He's a Cowboy fan, he's a Mavs fan, and SMU is a very, very much distant third, fourth, or fifth. He really doesn't care.
Wow.
He's just feeding the narrative since it seems to excite everybody. So if you're tagging Lance on Twitter or Facebook, trust me, he doesn't give a shit. And I'm just
That's nice. That's fucked up.
Hey man, the sky is still blue, the pecker still works, man. That is some vernacular there, Mr. Harper, that I do enjoy. I've got to say, and everybody go out and get their candle. That's funny shit.
Speaking of candles, everybody out there who's asking Harper to ship it to them, Harper's not being an asshole. It's like he checked into it, and
it's like $15. It costs like $15 for me to mail a candle because of the weight and because it's fucking glass. So if you want to pay $15 more, I'll be more than happy to mail it to you. But that's what that's what the shipping is. So
yeah. So there you go. Harper doesn't mind. He doesn't mind if you PayPal him, but the problem is the shipping, and he's not trying to rip anybody off. So that's why he hasn't been real responsive. So if you're out there listening and haven't heard this yet, $15 to ship one candle is pretty expensive. So that's what's going on with the candle.
Hey, get that shit on Amazon Prime. Free shipping.
Yeah.
Oh man. Harper, I sent you something, and this is from a longtime BTT Hall of Fame Patreon member, Kevin Carter. Kevin, great dude, great supporter of this show, loves what we do, been loving what we're doing for a long time. He has a paid ad that he has paid to have us mention on this show. So do you have it, Harper, and can you read it for us?
Well, first of all, how much you paid?
I'll tell you off air.
All right.
Bottle of
I'll send
Hennessy.
you a check for it.
Yeah.
A bottle of Hennessy. Thank you, Kevin, for the Hennessy. No, go ahead.
Oh my God. I was watching Judge Judy today.
Oh God.
And it was a fucking pit bull. It's always the fucking pit bull fucking biting some dog. And guess what the pit bull's name was? Hennessy.
Did you pop?
Yeah. First of all, you shouldn't name your dog a name that has more than 2 syllables because it fucks him up. They ain't that goddamn smart.
That's some wisdom right there.
That's so true.
Man, you're gonna have to have a solo show with these.
I mean, that's why dogs are always like dog and cats names are always like 1 or 2 syllable names because anything over that, it's fucking hard for them to comprehend.
Life lesson from Harper.
There you go.
Name your dog a 1 syllable name. That's
Maybe
why we
2,
have Spot.
Toby type of Rex is 1.
Rex.
Spot's 1.
Oh boy.
Snoopy 2. Okay.
Lassie.
Any more than 2 though, Harper? That's stretching it, huh?
Yeah, for real, bro. You can't have a dog trying to fucking remember that shit.
Hennessy. Jesus Christ. I mean, you really want to confuse the little bastard, huh?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Cats can have 3, like Tiffany or something. Anyways.
All right, Harper, you got the public service announcement from Kevin Carter up for us.
Okay, yeah. The following is a public service announcement brought to you from the residents of the Great Smoky Mountains. We, the residents of the Smokies, would like to extend a very sincere fuck you to one Doc Turner for the abuse and general assholery you have heaped upon us for almost 4 years. Doc, please understand this comes from the bottom of our coal-blackened hearts. This message has been brought to you and paid for by Kevin Carter, founder and user of #FuckDoc.
There you go. So, Kevin, we thank you for your public service announcement. We appreciate it. Thank you for the paid ad. And, the best part about this is Doc's not here, but don't worry. He will listen back to this because whenever he's not on the show, he likes to listen back and critique things and then tell me, what we could have done better. So he'll be the first one. He will surely hear this, and I'm not going to tell him, so it'll just slap him in the face, Kevin. So there you go. Thank you for the paid ad, Kevin. We appreciate it.
You read that really clear. You must have used spell check.
Well, I sounded it out.
No, I'm talking about Smoky Mountain fan.
Oh.
Kevin's real cool, man. He's a good dude. All right.
I was trying to keep the Doc tradition alive.
I see that. I see that. The bad heel, Doc. But a special shout out to our largest patron contributors monthly: Disrespectfully Classy, Mark E. Blassie, Kyle Riley, Mike Childry. Thank you for your generous patronage contributions each and every month. And then shout out to, I got one new Patreon member this week, Scott Keeler. Thank you for signing up on Patreon. Enjoy all the extra Patreon content, the world-class shows that Lance and I do, the ECW shows that are out there, along with 200 plus other patron exclusive shows on our Patreon feed. If you're not one, a Patreon member that is, become one at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. There is just a load of insane nonsense out there for you to enjoy in addition to all the free stuff that we put up. So we appreciate it, all the patrons out there, and please become one if you're not one. All right, let's get into July 9th, 1988. This is an infomercial. Lance was complaining to me about it last night, and I have to say, he's mostly right. But Lance, any opening thoughts as we jump into this week's show?
I don't know if y'all know, but a pay-per-view is coming up, and you can, the pay-per-view office is open all the time, as they keep saying. They really want you to know that, but I know back in the day, people still didn't know their stuff, but man, do they hammer it home. I mean, it's just a constant rattle, this whole show about the pay-per-view. Golly.
I can't blame them. They were trying to make money. In the whole you got one thing to remember, the whole pay-per-view thing was still new. So I don't really know how many people really understood how to order pay-per-view by this point. So maybe that's part of it. But when you watch it in 2019 eyes, I agree with Lance. You're watching a show that is a lot of pay-per-view plugs. And that's kind of how it was. So with that said, the show opens with the Road Warriors beating up a couple of enhancement talents. And then we head to the studio with JR, Schiavone, and Crockett. They tell us that the Great American pay-per-view is sold out. Great American Bash pay-per-view is sold out. It'll be in Baltimore tomorrow night on July 10th. But order it through your cable provider. And remember, we do cover the Great American Bash. It'll be up on our Patreon feed after this show drops on, I think, Thursday night. Is it November the 7th? Thursday night, November the 7th. So the Great American Bash pay-per-view should be up November the 8th or 9th. And there you have it. All right, we go right away after that opening where they plug the pay-per-view. We go to Hawk and Animal cutting a promo before, they're cutting a promo. Here it is.
That's right, David Crockett. We're here. We're at the greatest wrestlers and the greatest wrestling promotion, Jim Crockett Promotions and the National Wrestling Alliance. We set the example of wrestling perfection. And now Baltimore, we get the Tower Duke, Kevin Sullivan. I don't think you know what you got yourself into by messing with Jimmy Garvin. He came in and said, hey, will you guys help me out and help me kick Kevin Sullivan's butt and whoever he brings in the Tower Duke? And we said, we'd be more than happy to help you get rid of Kevin Sullivan. Ain't that right, Hawk? Kevin Sullivan! Look into these eyes. Imagine what these eyes have seen. Look at these hands. Imagine what these hands have done in my life. Kevin Sullivan, do you think you're smart? Well, we don't. We think you're dumber than a sack of hammers. You want to make a Tower of Doom match involving the Legion of Doom? Why don't you just give us some sledgehammers, lay your head on a stump, and let us mash your matter? You're not a very smart man, Kevin Sullivan. I gave you credit a long time ago for being smart, but when you ingeniously developed this match, I begin to realize you weren't a genius, Kevin Sullivan. You're not a smart man at all. Dr. Death, Ronnie and Jimmy Garvin, and the LOD? That's not a winning combination for you. That's a winning combination for us. Tell them, Paul.
You know, David, when my boys are good, they're very good. And when they're bad...
All right, we don't need to listen to Ellering. He's not funny. But, Lance, go to you first, man. What you thought?
Oh, man, they're just monsters. They're 5 years into their career, and they're still got that great fire. I mean, it sounds better than anything you hear today. Magazines were still pushing them. It's just They're great. And of course, they're at the end of that interview there, they talked a little more after Ellering. They were pushing Luger, winning, which has kind of been a formula on these shows before pay-per-views, things like that, pushing that, the title match, because you definitely want to come get tickets, because even the Road Warriors think that Luger's going to win the title.
Yeah, they tried to get you to believe it. Hope that doesn't spoil anything for anyone all these years later. They're intense. They're talking about this Tower of Doom. God bless them. If you've never seen it, I hope you watch it before Doc and I do the review of it. It's a fucking... I would have had to increase my life insurance before I got up on that tower, and that's all I kind of want to say. Harper, do you have anything from the Warriors right there who mean business?
Man, Hawk sounds fucking great, huh? And then when you think about it, like you said, the Road Warriors with Ronnie Garvin, Dr. Death, and fucking Jimmy Garvin, he's just there, but fuck that, man. That does sound like a winning combination.
Remember when you said a couple of weeks ago when you went off on AEW and you're like, man, this is not for me?
Yeah.
And you started talking about all the guys from back in the day. You're like, man, this guy would have scared me. That guy would have scared me. Are there any guys in that group that don't scare you?
They all scare me.
Yeah.
Except maybe Jimmy Garvin.
And even then, you still respect them.
Right.
Yeah.
Imagine Dr. Death versus Marco Stunt.
Oh, my God. I mean, he'd step on him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just if they stood next to each other, Harper? When Dr. Death was buff and jacked?
Dude, imagine Ronnie Garvin stretching him like how he does these fucking jobbers. I would love to see that. He
really treats these guys bad. Can you... God, Garvin might make him cry in the middle of the ring. And I'm not, trying to be funny. I think he would.
That's nice.
Lance, Harper cut a vicious promo on AEW a couple weeks ago, just so you know.
Gotcha. What's the nuts and bolts of it? The small guys, big guys. Yeah, Marco. I can completely understand. I know a lot of, and the whole Orange Cassidy stuff. They get people and stuff. I think it's funny for 1 second, but I understand why people are on it.
Once you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw Joey Ryan do his dick thing in person one time, and that's all I need to say. I didn't need to see it over and over and all that shit. I saw it one time. I was like, okay, it's the hot thing for 15 minutes, but I don't need to see it over and over.
Hey, Lance, you know how people talk about how Chris Von Erich was small?
Yeah,
Marco Stunt makes Chris Von Erich look like
absolutely.
Kerry Von Erich.
Several guys. I think that Chris was taller than Rey Mysterio. I don't want to. I need to look at that a little more, but he really wasn't that small to now in what the guys are doing.
Yeah.
But Marco Stunt, damn straight, he's tiny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he embellishes it with with the way he wears his spandex shit. He's supposed to. He's making himself look even smaller. I don't know, big hair and short. I mean, he should be down in AAA with those guys that go crazy. I guess a Super Porky type of deal, and those those minis and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, whatever and stuff.
How old is he for real?
Yeah, I'll look that up while y'all talk. Keep going.
All right. Yeah, we'll keep going. I have no idea.
Somebody's
and on
21.
that note, we won't spend too much time on the AEW bashing. We got Brad Armstrong who defeats Mike Jackson if you're watching on our Patreon video. Brad's back, wins pretty convincingly over Mike Jackson. We then go to a Lex Luger promo. I thought this was funny because, and I wasn't going to play it, but so Luger's out there and the girls start chanting, "Take it off," referring to his shirt, and Luger gives it to him. He takes off his shirt and he's trying his best to talk him into the building. I don't have anything memorable or notable from it. It's not bad. Luger's okay.
I think it was the best promo that he's done.
It's what look, Doc said. I hate telling Doc when he's right, Harper? But
yeah.
Doc said something a couple weeks back, and he was complaining about Sting's bad promos. Man, I got to be honest, man. Luger's he ain't cutting great promos, but they're good, they're decent, and they're much better than Sting's. I mean,
Luger's passed up Sting
easily. Promo department is not even close.
Yeah, I can go with that. I can go with that. And man, I think he sold some gold chains through the years. I mean, hey, I was 18 and thought I needed a gold chain around this time because Lex looked great with it. Yeah. I always thought he did. I always thought, man, look at that chain he's got around. That's pretty cool. I was into Lex, man. I didn't know that, what people thought of him behind the scenes as far as his passion for wrestling and this and that. And I wasn't watching for work rate and all that shit that we started doing once the internet came and stuff. Yeah. I just, liked what I liked. But I think you're right. I think his talking right here, man, he's definitely, come into himself on that.
Yeah, he's good. What were you about to say, Harper?
No, I just mean, there you go. Look, there you go, double bicep.
You're right about that work rate thing, though, Lance. We
watched this shit. Isn't that just fucking watch it? Just fucking watch it. I don't get that. Just fucking watch it and then Harper, go to bed.
Well, you realize when you say that, people are going to tell you, and I'm not saying this, but devil's advocate here. The critic will tell you with AEW, just watch it. Don't critique it like that. But they don't. But go ahead and explain why that's different.
Because I don't enjoy it.
Well, not just that. We had these larger than life personalities back then. So we watched it and we knew Lex was a big buff bastard, and we knew the Road Warriors were big buff bastards, and we thought they looked like, man, we don't know if they could shoot fight, but they look like they could beat some ass, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy to like go, holy shit, man, this is a badass. I look at him, he's like, man, that's a bad son of a gun. Nowadays, you can't do that.
I just hate how they just dissect everything, and it's like the WrestleBotch page and all. It's like, so the guy made a fucking mistake. Okay? Now what? Okay, the guy fucked up the drop kick. Okay? What the fuck you want me to do about it? So what? And they can't just enjoy it. It would be like if somebody was watching the fucking Avengers and they're like, oh, in this scene, Captain America is holding his shield in the left hand, but in this scene, it's in the right hand. Who gives a fuck?
Man, that is all over YouTube. Exactly right. 20 things you missed in whatever movie or stuff.
Right.
And you can go down that rabbit hole all day long and stuff. It'll drive you nuts.
You know what's funny though? It's not just wrestling, because like Harper and I were big Game of Thrones viewers, and the last season that just happened this year, I thought I was in like the wrestling universe with everybody complaining about how it finished. Like, everybody hated it. And I don't say everybody, but basically the Game of Thrones fans turned into like wrestling fans. And that's when I started to realize, I was like, God damn, this isn't just wrestling people are doing that with. It's everything. I don't like how they book my favorite character. I hate this. Boycott Game of Thrones. Like, what?
Because it used to be you would just watch it and then it was gone. Now you can watch something a million times and then go on Facebook and talk about it and post this and share that.
It's the mob mentality, because now you can talk to your friends online or whatever on Twitter, social media, and everybody can just come down on the same thing. I've been on this Lance Von Erich thing this week online. I wasn't watching for Lance Von Erich work rate. Now I watch it and I do see how green he was. But again, 16, 17 years old, man, I was just having fun. I knew that nobody was going as fast as 1983 World Class. But damn, April of '87, Lance Von Erich's last stuff in World Class, he's getting cheered. Nobody's cheering him. He didn't bring anything down. And I talk about that, on last week's World Class show. Anyways.
I said it all the time. This is about him. Fritz von Malky gets on it about The Simpsons, but, you and I had the discussion, Sean and Steve Simpson. But anyway. All right, let's go to Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, Ricky Morton gets impatient with Robert after 5 seconds and decides to take over. This is great. Watch this.
Robert, tomorrow night in Baltimore, the World Tag Team Champions, Tully and Arn Anderson, go up against Sting and Nikita Koloff. In your opinion, because you know all these men, what do you think the outcome's going to be?
Well, my hat's off to Lex Luger and Nikita Koloff because, excuse me.
Let's get it down right here, Robert. Let's say what's on our mind, and we'll say it right up front.
what's on our mind. We don't matter who the winner is because we don't care what we got to do to get to it, baby. That to be the 5 times NWA World Tag Team Champions. You see, baby, we've been across the world many times, and we met a lot of people that thought they were cool. But then again, Tully and Arn, we met a lot of fools. You see, we got your 4 horsemen swinging. We are the Rock and Roll Express, and baby, we think that we are the best. So you show us what you got. We don't care about no outcome. What we want to do is be in that match. If we have to walk over the sheep herders or anybody else to get that place, that's exactly what rock and roll is going to do. We're not here to play, baby. We are here to stay. The National Wrestling Alliance is what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Bar none, baby. But remember one thing, rock and roll is here to stay. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I had to play it just from when Ricky was like, he gave Robert 5 seconds, and he's like, I can't take this no more.
He
Robert,
turned around and coughed and said something like, "You're fucked up," or not. No, he didn't say that, but he didn't say that. He like, "You're off" or something. Let me take it. You see, when he turns around, he says something like, "Let me take it,"
right,
something like that. He's lost. Funny stuff.
Poor old Robert.
He got impatient, Harper. Like 5 seconds into it, he's like, "Bro, shut the fuck up. Give me that microphone."
And it was, I thought all the way, I thought that was going to be my MVP for sure of the show right there. I was just way into how Ricky took that over. We'll talk about it at the end, what I ended up with, but I actually thought because he did that and just went on that Southern roll right there, I really thought a lot of that.
So we'll keep going. I thought Ricky was good right there.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. We got Sting. He defeats Larry Stevens. They then have a Great American Bash plug, that is, to order the pay-per-view. As you can see, they're doing it a lot at the bottom of the screen. They keep showing it over and over, and then they plug it here. And then Sting cuts a promo, and it's weird and wild. He tells a story about his childhood, and I kept waiting for the punchline, and there was no punchline. It was very, very awkward, and that was that. It was less than a minute long. Lance, you got anything from it?
No, I don't have anything and stuff. Yeah. I will say, if you were in Dallas and you saw his son, I may have said this on the World Class. I know I said it on the World Class shows. I don't know if I said it on here. His son, works in retail here in Dallas. You can go buy an iPhone from him. Man, he looks exactly like Sting. If you walked into the store where he works, you would say that you would know exactly who Sting's son was. It kills me because I wonder how many people go into that store and know of course who Sting is, and they don't realize that's his dad. It's kind of funny.
Does he have the same haircut like him, like right here?
No, it's black. It's the mouth and the teeth, the way he holds his mouth. No, he's got black hair, and he's been on TV at like the Hall of Fame. They've shown him and stuff.
Okay.
No, it's just right in the face. You can see it, the teeth and everything. That same mouth, if you will.
I got you. Okay.
Hey now.
Oh man. Harper, anything you want to say about Sting?
No.
Yeah.
He is a man called Sting.
Man called Sting.
Man called
Sting.
That's what I was looking forward to right there.
We go to the Midnight Express. They are going to go up against, Corny's going to announce them here, but they're going to go up against Ryan Wagner and Danny Little. Cornette is on commentary the whole time, and he is basically the infomercial for Great American Bash during this actual match. He ran down the entire card. I mean, just the entire thing. And then I don't know where this Danny Little guy...
He's good looking, isn't he?
Jesus Christ. I don't know what his deal is, but he looks like he's wearing a onesie and not tights. Like it's
like what a kid wears, like oh yeah, it's like a ballerina or something.
Horrible.
What the
get a tan. It's the worst.
Look at Harper. Look at that. What do you call that? And he looks really frumpy, like he's clueless. Look at this guy.
He looks like a fucking nut, bro. That's the kind of guy you see like at the porno store at 3 a.m.
And look at that onesie. Okay. It's like loose on him.
I bet
that guy didn't have a clue what he's doing. Look at him.
I bet it like unbuttons like in the crotch.
Look at Stan's laughing his ass off. Man. Get in there.
He's like, come on.
It's the worst look ever. I wrote down. Cornette calls him a human pear in there.
Bruh, can you imagine Harper? Can you imagine Stan and Bobby just laughing at this asshole?
It's too loose too.
It's loose.
It's like they're beating up somebody's mom.
It's like a crime, dude. Look at Stan. Did you see what Stan did? He refused to even jump the guy on the floor. He keeps pulling his trunks out of his ass because they're too loose.
This guy looks horrible.
Stan keeps walking over to him and he's like, fuck no, I can't be putting hands on this dude.
Oh, God. Dude. What the fuck?
This is I can't take a bump to save my life or anything like that in the ring, but this guy looks bad. I mean, this guy, it's just horrible.
Dude, where did they find this jackass from?
Well, we've seen this guy once before, haven't we?
I don't think so.
He's got a handful of matches. I tried to look up to see who he was, and it kept coming up with this old wrestler named Danny Little Bear, but I couldn't find anything on him. But there were several matches that he had here on WCW.
I think that shirt, I don't think it's a onesie. I think that shirt is just tucked into his pants.
I just noticed that, and I didn't notice it the first time I watched it because you're right on that. Like when he rolled out of the ring to tag in Ryan Wagner, who Ryan Wagner's he's always on, Enhancement Talent. But you're right, this guy, I mean, that's terrible, man.
Before during the match, go ahead.
The guy got a power slam in.
He did. He power slammed Bobby Eaton. God, he looks so terrible. Look at he's pasty white. This is criminal. Who thought it was a good idea to put this jackass on television? He's still pulling his trunks out his ass.
Someone should message Cornette about him.
That's a great idea. Corny drive-through. Corny drive-through at gmail.com. That's corny with just a Y, no E. Or hashtag corny drive-through on Twitter. Ask Cornette on the July 9th, 1988 episode of Saturday Night on TBS who this guy Danny Little was with what looks like a onesie, but Harper's right. It's just basically purple trunks and a purple top.
Yeah, it's a wife beater.
Oh my God. Harper, talk again?
It's a wife beater. Oh yeah, there you go.
You just turned into the whistleblower again, Harper.
Oh,
this is awesome. Lance, do you hear him? How he sounds?
He changed it. The whole voice changed when he said that.
Dude, you sound like the whistleblower again. This is phenomenal. Harper, talk about this asshole's outfit as the whistleblower.
Man, what the fuck? Oh, God, look at this guy. He has to be the worst guy that we've seen ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
He fucking wipes his... Oh, God, you fucking loser.
We've seen bad, though.
Yeah, but this guy is beyond bad. He don't even have real gear. Dude, just imagine what he looks like without that tank top on. That's probably why he put the tank top on there. But like, dude, you look like shit. Put a tank top on. Oh, God.
Yeah, he was going to take it off.
Right.
I think they saw him in a locker room.
All right, so the midnight win. Let's go to Jim Cornette, who's out there now. He's going to cut a promo. Here it is.
Tomorrow night, you get put in a straitjacket, and tomorrow night you get hauled up all the way to the roof, and then your men have to go in the ring without you.
You know something, David Crockett? I don't know how long I'm going to live. I might live to be 107 years old, and I might end up tomorrow. Tomorrow might be my last day, but I just hope, and I pray, and I wish that I could live long enough to see you get that little weasel smirk spread all across your face. Now, let me just say this. As far as tomorrow night, Baltimore, Maryland goes, Midnight Express Fantastics U.S. Tag Team title winner gets a belt, loser gets 10 lashes, me in a straitjacket up over the ring. I've got myself all together about this thing. I realize that more money is going to be made tomorrow by everybody involved than's ever been made in a wrestling match, and more people are going to see a wrestling match tomorrow than have ever seen it in history. And all those millions of people watched on television, all those 15,000 sold-out people in the Baltimore arena, they're going to be laughing at me when I get slapped in that straitjacket, when I get hauled up in the air. But they're not going to be laughing when the Midnight Express takes the Fantastics. And these men are champions. They have been champions many times, and they're going to be champions again. And they're ready to do whatever it takes, Fantastics, when they get in that ring with you to take those belts. But as far as I'm concerned, I've thought about this thing and I've come to grips with it, and I realize that tomorrow might be the end of me. The Midnight Express is going to be U.S. Tag Team Champions, sure, but they might have to go on without me because up in the air anything might happen. Well, I've told my mother I'm leaving everything to her, and I've made arrangements for my little dog Snuffles that might be left all alone without her daddy. But I'm going to say this. Some will win, some will lose, and some are born to sing the blues. And Fantastics, you're going to be singing like a couple of parakeets with bow ties on by the time you get out of that ring. We're going to be the U.S. Tag Team Champions, and when they tie me off up here in that straitjacket, I'm going to have somebody watch that rope because I don't want the Fantastics to have gone out and seen a Roadrunner cartoon and got any funny ideas.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, you've got to watch it and watch Jim Cornette fall.
Well, Corny's sweating bricks. Harper, you got any thoughts on Cornette right there?
No. Thoughts and prayers, dog.
Modulated. It's awesome. Thoughts and prayers. He is sweating bricks during this promo.
He's got that shirt over his dress shirt and then a jacket, man. He's on fire and stuff.
Yeah,
and
he's burning.
You know, the thing is a 3-story cage. So, you know, Hayes left in, February, and he knew about the 3-story cage. So he got World Class, beat them to the 3-story cage. It had it in May, and here we are, whatever. What are we at?
Right.
June? Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, he was in it. He had a singles match with Terry Gordy, and then they had a battle royal type of match. First 3 to the top, won prizes and stuff.
That's right. Y'all, Skype is acting crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you hear that, Lance?
Yeah.
That's Skype. So it did this the other day. I wasn't even recording anything. I was doing something in it and talking to a friend of mine, and it was doing this. So it's Skype. So I apologize everybody out there who hears that what sounds like almost interference on our end. I don't know what it'll sound like on the recording end, but that's why. Lance, I forgot about that. So there you go. Hayes stole
I think that's the
idea.
story and stuff. That's one of those World Class stories. I'm just absolutely sure I've heard it, but I hadn't thought about it in a long time and stuff. But Hayes, because they knew they were going to do it. Yeah, and Hayes left. Oh, he had that concert in March. Yeah, February's when he left WCW. Yeah.
Oliver, I know you're not doing the Bash review with us. I'm gonna have to show you this cage at another time.
I'll watch it. When y'all doing it?
I think Doc and I are doing it next Friday night. Not this coming Friday. Not 2 days from now. I think we're gonna do it at like 8:00 or something. We got to talk about it. He and I. We got to set the time. I know it's next Friday night. I just don't know if it's 7:30, 7 or 8 or whatever. But it's fucking terrible.
Whoa, is it?
If you've never seen it, to me, you're just waiting for the cage to fall down.
Oh man.
Well, it's not terrible. I mean, you know, it's like one of them things. You know, when we were young, it's like, oh, this is really cool. But then you watch it when you're old, you're like, God, man, those guys are gonna die. That cage is gonna fall. That's what I kept thinking. So, all right, we keep going.
Hey, just one thing. Let me throw in during that Midnight's match, they were talking about a house show coming up with Dusty teaming with the Sheik, and that's pretty cool because the Sheik is. He really, to me, he's kind of, he's very iconic, even in the world of wrestling. Scary motherfucker just walking down the street and stuff. Had a great gimmick. And here in '88, he's still going to team with Dusty on a house show. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, Dusty. I've heard Cornette talk about it a bunch of times with the Sheik when they went to Detroit or whatever. And I think like that might have been his only appearance, and then he never like did anything with him again. Does that sound right, Lance? Or
yeah, probably so. I'm not an expert on him and everything. Yeah. He made it. He came in on Nitro like one time with Sabu and threw fire in like 2 seconds one time, but he didn't wrestle. He kept going. I was just kind of throwing that in that that here in '88 he was doing something with Dusty. Of course, with Dusty, right?
Of course. Speaking of Dusty, he's out here to cut a promo, and God, you're gonna love this one. Here it is.
Night, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Barry Windham, the U.S. title. Dusty, I know you're ready.
Well, you know, I've been watching this television show here for the last 30 minutes, and I got to say one thing to my brothers. There's a lot of brothers sitting out there right now saying, what is pay-per-view television? What is that? On the air, is it live and in color? Is it in public, if you will? The bottom line is, pay-per-view television is you sit there drinking beer with your old lady, flop down a little bit of money in the air-conditioned room, and you watch the greatest extravaganza of all time, because tonight is my night. Tomorrow night is my night. Monday night is my night. Tuesday is my night. The legendary Dusty Rhodes takes Barry Windham to the limit. U.S. title comes back to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. That is the price of freedom. Right here is the price of freedom. We are ready for the Great American Bash. Me and the good doctor.
Go on with your bad self, Dusty. I'm so fired up. He's got me excited. You know the third
Y'all hear Barry chant?
the 3 tiers.
Yeah.
You know, I promise, Jimmy, that no one will touch Precious. Not one sane. The men I'm with, we fear no evil, because we have walked down the valley of death, because we are the meanest SOBs around.
Yeah, all right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, Baltimore, coming up, the World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair. We want to hear what he has to say.
Why is Dusty specifically targeting the brothers about ordering the pay-per-view? Do white people not order pay-per-views too? I'm real confused by that. But anyway, that was all.
That's nice.
Mike pointed it out.
No, Lance, did you hear it?
I think. Oh, it's absolutely. I
mean, I'm just curious, man. Like, why was he just specifically targeting black folks? That's some crazy stuff there, Dust. I mean,
I know, huh? I mean, fuck, everyone knows black people steal cable.
Oh, come on, Harper.
But
yeah, for real.
See, he needs a solo show, Mike. He needs a solo show for this wisdom.
I mean, I'm trying to pull up the soundboard so I can hit him with something, but in the meantime, I'll throw it to you, Lance. What do you have from it?
Well, yeah, just classic Dusty. I don't have a lot to say. I thought it was really good. I know it was poignant, but he's just Dusty. I don't know what to say. I mean, man, he could talk. Golly, the more we get away from past his death and everything, and look back and you just realize how he could talk, because he screwed up in there. He said tonight, tomorrow night, Monday night, Sunday night, every night's my night, something like that. Just thinking it out. It's just you don't see anything like it today.
No.
I know I keep leaning on that today, saying, you don't see it like today. But, man, I mean, this whole show is freaking a Hall of Fame show. I mean, come on. Warriors, Lex, Sting, whatever you think of him, they're still the top guys. You still think of that core group as the men. I mean, it's wild. And the Horsemen.
I mean, I feel like Harper. Like, I don't want to sound like the old asshole that yells at clouds and the old guy who complains about everything, but we say this all the time. I mean, it's refreshing when you hear these. Literally, most of these promos are we're about to go to one that's about 3.5 minutes, but most of these promos are 2 minutes and they're on point. And I mean, even though they were cheering for Barry here,
and not scripted.
Good. Right, it's not scripted, and I'm making a joke about, how he's addressing the brothers for ordering pay-per-views, and Harper decides to chime in with, brothers don't pay for cable, they steal it. That's nice, Harper. That's real classy.
It's true, though, huh?
Come on. I mean, seriously?
Did your dad steal cable?
No, we didn't have cable, but, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 3, so, I mean, I
oh, poor you.
I'm not no, I did not say that. I did not say that. I just said we
probably got divorced because of you.
That's nice.
That's fucked up. Right, Lance?
Bad stuff.
Jesus.
Thanks, Harper.
He's on a roll.
What are you, 12? Can you have some class? I mean,
damn, I may have to order a candle.
Yeah.
I mean,
I may have to order a candle.
Come on. I mean, seriously. Grow up.
Well, that's why Lance's Mustangs have been doing well, because he fucking bought the hard body Harper candle.
Lance, do you have a candle? Is that true?
It's on national back orders. What I understand. When I called the 1-800 number.
Oh, all right, okay. All right. So, okay. Any other thoughts on Dusty here?
Y'all gonna have a quarterback controversy?
The Saints?
No.
Teddy's done pretty well.
And Drew came in last week or 2 weeks ago by the time this aired and cleaned house and showed why you put your Hall of Fame quarterback back in, right, Harper?
And yep, I mean, look, I look at it like this: Teddy's going to leave, and he's going to get a great fucking payday, bro.
Yes,
because someone's going to pick him up, pay him $20-30 million, bro.
How old is he?
I don't know.
Oh, he is in his 20s. Okay, that's what I was
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and he says, how great would it be if the Saints win the Super Bowl? Drew Brees says, okay, I want it, I retire, and then he basically passes the torch to Teddy.
That's the ideal situation.
Yeah.
Oh, are you ready for that? Is that right?
I mean, that's what I'm praying for.
I hope so, because like Drew's not gonna retire. He's like he's a stone cold wired to he wants one more, and he is not gonna walk away until his arm falls off or he wins another title. Like, I really firmly believe that. And the problem is, like, when you have a future Hall of Famer, it's really hard to tell them we don't need you no more, especially when they keep playing at a high rate. Yeah. So that's why I'm with Harper. I hope they win it all, so that then Drew can be like, all right, I'm done, and then they can just give the money to Teddy, and there you go. Right? That's it.
Right.
But who knows?
If I had $1 million, you made me put $1 million on it right now. I'll go with the Saints. I think Saints versus Patriots, and I'm not just kissing ass. I think that's the way it is. Saints, Patriots, and really all that matters to me is it's not the Eagles. It's all that matters in the fucking world.
Are you sure you and Doc aren't the same person?
Does he really? Is he really Eagles? I guess he's here.
He's a Cowboy fan. He hates the Eagles.
Yeah. You see, it was the 49ers, in the 80s and stuff. I missed that the 49ers are good now, aren't they? They're having a hell of a year. But I miss the 49ers rivalry. And, Washington, they can't get their shit together in 20 years or whatever. I mean, I just, the Eagles, that's the best when we beat the Eagles. And anytime the Eagles lose, man, that's just the way I feel.
All right, I'm going to play this Ric Flair promo, but I swear, if I didn't know any better and hadn't met you and Doc in person, I would say y'all are the same person, because you're regurgitating what he says to me daily. All right, with that said, let's go to Ric Flair, who's going to come out here. He's going to cut a promo before the bash, and Rick is always on time. Here it is.
Here it is, the World Heavyweight Championship, the coveted belt. Everyone all over the world wants it. Tomorrow night in Baltimore, pay-per-view, the World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair, Lex Luger. It's going to come down. There's one man who's going to win.
Well, David, always the picture of total confidence. You see, Luger had an opportunity to sit in the control room. I saw you out here tearing your shirt off, flexing your muscles, and making promises to the American public, pal, that I don't personally think you can back up. I, in turn, total composure. No vocal instrument whatsoever. I stand before you and the 10 million people that are going to pay money to see you and I tomorrow night battle for the most coveted trophy in sports. It is not the first time that I have been under the gun. Every time I got in that ring with Dusty Rhodes, the pressure was on. When I got in the ring with Harley Race, the pressure was on. When I got in the ring with Ronnie Garvin, the pressure was on. But the bottom line is, Jim Crockett looked at me 10 years ago. He said, Nature Boy, SRO, that That means standing room only. And that's the way the American public is going to be tomorrow night. Because when that smoke clears and they hit that beat to 2001, pal, I'm going to bust in that ring. Woo! Looking as only I can look. Luger, tonight, I'm going to find me a beautiful woman, and I'm going to lay myself down, and I'm going to know what I have to deal with tomorrow. You, in turn, will lay in bed tonight in a cold sweat because you have to beat the champion. You have to beat Ric Flair. You have got to fulfill your dreams and your promises, as you said, of a lifetime. And in Baltimore, Maryland, think about it. 17,000 people live. The building is sold out. And I'm told by the people here at TBS that tomorrow night I might make $5 or $6 million to be the champion. Do you know why? Because 10 million people across this country are calling on the phone right now because they think that possibly you have a chance to become this. And my friend, in this sport, this is all there is. World championship titles. Not words, not money, not prestige, but my friend, if you love it like I do, you live for the glory of being called the world's heavyweight champion. Only one, believe me, only one. And tomorrow night, look at it only I can look. I will remind you of one thing when it's all over. Diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair. Woo.
Do you want to be part of wrestling history? Call now.
I want to say something good, but I mean, that's just how you talk them into buying the pay-per-view, in my opinion, and I don't really want to add much more. Harper, you got any thoughts? Because that was gold.
That was great.
He owned it.
Perfect.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I like him solo like that because that's the way, you know, when I started watching this end of 82, beginning 83, and Flair came on TBS, he carried that belt and made it, a championship. It made it, a realistic goal, in wrestling, it's just, he the man. It just looks great, man.
I mean, that's how you convince somebody to order a pay-per-view. I mean, if you're on the fence, I think he convinced you. If you're on the fence and had the money to do it, I'm thinking he did it. I mean, he's telling Lex, look, you making promises to yourself, but you got to beat me, and I don't know if you could do it, pal.
And it's not his first rodeo.
He's been there every single time. Every single time. So, like I said, self-explanatory. Rick does a great job. Anything else, Lance?
No, and what I say on the World Class show about, they weren't going to change the Flair formula. Here it is, 1988. They're still with the Flair formula, being champ and everybody chasing them. When we say, so-and-so could have been, this, or they were going to give it to this guy or that guy. No, they weren't going to get away from Flair.
You're damn right. That's right. All right, so after Flair, Varsity Club defeats George South and Rick Allen. And then we get the Spam Slam of the week, which goes to Lance's favorite wrestler, Arn Anderson.
Oh, how did I miss that?
I bet that's what you said.
Spam Slam.
How did I miss that?
I
didn't think y'all were gonna. I didn't think y'all were gonna have me back till September of '88.
Hold your horses. I think we need you next week and maybe the week after.
Oh,
so we'll see.
Shit.
But anyway.
Kayfabe, brother. Kayfabe.
Shit, yeah.
Kayfabe cocktail.
Kayfabe. What? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. So the Spam Slam goes to Arn. And then after that, there's a promo. It's Jimmy Garvin. I didn't have it queued up. I got ahead of myself there. Jimmy Garvin, who gets interrupted by Kevin Sullivan. Here it is.
Fans, we're back here on the Superstation here on World Championship Wrestling. The World Tag Team Champions will be in action here in just a few moments. Of course, we're speaking of Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. A lot of things going on. We talked about this Tower of Doom. Here's gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. And Jimmy, tomorrow night is your night, brother.
Tomorrow night is not only my night, tomorrow night is going to be everybody's night. Because You want to talk about tomorrow night? We don't have to wait.
I smelled something. I thought I smelled something.
Kevin, we don't have to wait tomorrow night.
We need to wait.
We don't need to wait.
We need to wait.
I thought I smelled something. I thought I smelled something.
Now hold it.
I said you back your camera up. Back it up, brother. Back up your cameras. Come on, come on, come on. Back them up, I said. Because you know why I want you to back them up? Because I want you to zoom in on this, because this is what's really happening in the NWA. Okay? Okay. What? Gorgeous. Shut up.
Yeah, keep
your mouth shut.
Just shut your...
You shut your mouth, Kevin. You just shut your mouth. You hear me? Huh? I'm sick of everything. I'm tired of it. I feel like a piece of meat in a butcher shop window. I feel like a tennis ball being bounced around from court to court in someone's private house. And gorgeous. And I'm sick of it. I've been choked. I've been kidnapped. I've been insulted highly. And you know what this is? This is the key, and it isn't the key to my Mercedes. You know what I mean? This is the key to your life and your career, and this is a key to your life and your career. You got that? You got it, Kevin? You got it? You got it, Jim? You got it? You better have it, because I got it.
Man, I don't know what to say about that, gentlemen. You guys got anything to say about this situation? There better be some thinking going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the ring. Let's get to the ring right away.
Well, Harper, you got any thoughts on Precious right there? Holy
Man, bro.
smokes.
But she looking good, huh?
Let you look at that again.
Yeah. What's up, girl? She's the hottest thing in the NWA.
Man.
Fuck me. I got to be honest. I'm fast forward. I missed that. And I don't remember this. I'm sure I was glued to it at the time. Holy shit. That was excellent. Holy cow. And man, she looks tasty. She's not overdoing it like she did in World Class when she first got to be able to talk here and there. Fuck. I love it.
Lance is like, she looks tasty. And all I'm thinking is,
Jesus.
Dude, she's looking smoking, guys. Oh.
They've been married since 72 right here.
That's crazy, huh?
Garvin just kept, even here is not the world-class Garvin. He amped it up as he got older to be relevant. And I know he's going to amp it up to where he's Jimmy Jam and that bullshit, where he took it a little too far. But, man, I just think a lot of him, man. I really do.
Here comes a free bird. Oh, my God. Oh boy, I'll leave it like that. All right, Harper, any other thoughts on Precious right there?
I mean, she's looking hot, dude. She can rival Missy Hyatt right there.
I think you're right, bro. I really do. She's smoking. We go to a match with Lance's favorite wrestler. I will not permit.
I guess this is why the DVR. I missed this too. I guess the DVR, knew or something. Fast forward.
Sure you did.
All right,
Arn
Tony
Anderson.
Super.
I will not allow Lance to slander Arn Anderson again. But we got Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. They defeat J.C. Wilde and Tony Suber. Harper says he's got nothing from this match. We're not going to ask Lance about it because he's an Arn Anderson hater.
Come on, September.
Come on, September.
Wow.
September's the birth of the Brainbusters.
I will make sure to edit that out, Harper.
What a prick.
What a prick. You're lying. We get another Great American Bash plug after this match because, that's just what they do. They keep plugging the Bash. It's available on pay-per-view Sunday, July the 10th, and the Tower of Doom, and blah, 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 and yeah, and over
Price
and over.
Of freedom.
Man. Price of freedom. We keep getting told to come out and, buy the pay-per-view. So there you have it. I don't have anything from that. They do have a match. It's Barry. He defeats Max MacGyver. Lance, anything from that one?
The youngster Barry Windham. I hate it when they say that. He's been wrestling over 10 years right here. He's 28. He's been, and they keep going. They've been saying it, for months that he's the youngster Barry Windham. And I'm going, whatever. He's got more experience, more NWA title matches than half the roster and stuff, or more. Frick, I don't like it, but I do like this JJ interview. That's pretty cool psychology right here. He's going to tell us that we have the power. Just you're going to play it, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask Harper. Harper, did you want to say something about Barry? What Lance was saying, and then I'll play this.
No.
All right. So let's go to JJ and Barry. They're out there coming promo after Barry.
Barry's the man.
Max MacGyver. Here it is.
I heard the question. What allegiance does Barry Windham have? I think the allegiance Barry Windham has is to himself.
Well, I think there's everything that needs to be put into proper perspective right at this moment, David. There have been a lot of claims made, but the truth is that tomorrow night in Baltimore is sold out. There are no tickets to be bought. There are almost 10 million homes in this country that have the potential of picking up the phone and say, I want to sit here in the comfort of my home, do something to that cable box, whatever buttons you want to push, and send me a bill next month. I'll pay it, but I want to watch the Great American Bash on my TV at home. 10 million people have that potential. And when you multiply 3 to 4 people on the average sitting around that TV in each of those homes, tomorrow night will be the most watched night of wrestling in the history of the sport. Now consider the magnitude of that. And it's very easy to understand why. First of all, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson will defend the World Tag Team titles against Sting. And I don't even know who is part. It doesn't really matter, because it's obvious that it will be the toughest test for Tully and Arn. Also, the Tower of Doom. You got 3 cages up to the ceiling, and in the bottom is Patty or Precious, whatever you want to call her, holding the key to the fate of one of 2 individuals. And which way is it going to go? I wouldn't want to call it, but obviously there are a lot of people are going to get hurt and possibly laid out before that issue is settled. The ultimate confrontation. The man they say that was born to be the next world champion, Lex Luger, facing the greatest heavyweight champion of all time, bar none, Nature Boy Ric Flair. And then the match that they're saying is the teacher and the student. And Barry Windham, one thing that I've been listening week in and week out that I've heard Dusty Rhodes say, he taught you everything but one thing, and that was how to lose. But you've never been a loser. You never will be a loser. So he never ever needed to teach you that.
JJ, I'll tell you what. This is something that I have waited for my entire life. Dusty Rhodes, you are not the teacher anymore. I waited my entire life for this night to come along, because you knew that it would happen sooner or later, and I always knew. When I stood in your shadow, I used to always look up at you and say, one of these days, pal, the day's here! The United States Championship is on the line, and you are not going to walk out of the Baltimore Civic Center with a championship, because it's sold out. All of your fans know that you're not going to walk out with a championship. They are afraid that the dream is dead. And that's exactly what it is. The dream is dead. You're going to go home, you're going to cry on your wife's shoulders, your children are going to cry for you, because Barry Windham, somebody that was so close to you, is going to hand you the biggest defeat of your life, and you're not going to be able to hand it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to watch it. Call, please, right now.
They almost should have went off air right there. I know they had more time, but that was a great promo from JJ and Barry. What did you have, Lance?
Barry's the man right here. I don't think people can understand. They're not back in 1988. He's fixing to go, a couple of years right here where he's just, top of the sport and everything. It's it's short because his knees are starting to go really bad. But I just think he could have been in there with the Briscoe Dory Funk. The Briscoe Dory Funk in the 70s. He could have been the heel champion traveling around easily. He rock and rolled.
I totally agree. Harper, you got anything from it?
How many people actually got this pay-per-view? Was this when Vince was fucking them over?
No. They had resolved the pay-per-view issues by this point. Lance, do you have an observer from that week to know what what the buy rate was? I'm not asking you to look it up.
It's right there where it was hit and miss on those. I don't know if he's got those 88s up.
Yeah,
I
didn't think.
I'll screw around and see while y'all are talking and stuff. But yeah, wasn't that was the Clash versus the pay-per-view or something when that all went down?
Yeah, it was Clash versus WrestleMania, I think. Huh?
Yeah.
You had sent me the Observer from the Clash. That's why I was asking. I don't think you had the one. I don't think Dave's got this one listed on there because I think we talked about it. So I'm not sure what the buy rate was on it, but I don't know. Maybe it's out there in the universe and I just haven't looked for it. So. But I'm not really sure how it did. I feel like I remember hearing about it at some point, but I didn't commit it to memory, so I'm not sure. Not sure how many bought it. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know how many people, even if you had cable, if you had pay-per-view at this point. Because if you remember, like the early days of cable, just because you had cable didn't mean you can get pay-per-view. Remember that, Harper?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
No, I'd watch on. You could, but if you didn't have cable, you know, you even had those other things like View or different those boxes and stuff you could order before you had cable. So you know, and you know, WWF had you know 85 was WrestleMania and the first WrestleMania, and I actually watched that one at home. It was the second WrestleMania that my system didn't carry, and I went and watched on a whatever at a big theater with a ton of people to watch WrestleMania 2. Yeah, so it was 85, 86, then 87. Yeah, I watched the rest of them always at home. It was only that second one that I went to like a ballroom and watched on a big screen with a ton of people.
God, that's cool. Were so lucky.
I know, huh?
Jesus Christ. You went to SMU and got to watch all the pay-per-view. God, I hate this guy.
I used to get pissed at people that could get like Saturday Night main event because it was 2 hours long. I was like, I mean, not primetime wrestling.
Right.
I was like, man, that's fucking 2 hours long, and it's not all jobber matches. You lucky motherfuckers.
Assholes. Hate them. Oh, boy. But there you go. JJ and Barry right there. You know, doing a little bit more to talk them into the building, order the pay-per-view. We'll see what happens. From there, we go to the Sheep Herders, who defeat Keith Steinborn and Tommy Royal. Then we go to a Ron Garvin promo. I'm not going to play it, but I've got to get Harper's reaction to Ronnie Garvin's attire. Oh,
no.
Ronnie Garvin is wearing a very stylish, wild, and free Harley Davidson t-shirt. And for some reason, I thought, man, Harper might have something, you know, cool to say about that. But anyway, Harper, did you see his t-shirt?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's tight. He's got that's America right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's like like he's going to a Charlie Daniels concert.
Look at the chain. Ronnie's looking like he's got a hot date after, man, with that Wild and Free Harley Davidson t-shirt. Lance, any thoughts on Ronnie right here?
No. Yeah, I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, what's coming up? So yeah.
No. I know exactly what he's talking about, so I'm gonna leave it alone too. All right. We go to Al Perez, who defeats Agent Steel in the next match, and then we close the show off with Gary Hart. He's just filling some time. I don't even have any notes from it. It's just kind of like he's trying to talk until the end of the show. Did you have anything from it, Lance?
Oh, Al is jacked up. Man, he's huge right here. You know, you hear him talking about what he did to get huge and everything. He's like, I didn't take that much. He looks like he took a lot right here and stuff. It seems like, you know, it seems like he wasn't ready.
To the stake. My bad. Go ahead, Lance.
Go ahead. He seems like he wasn't ready for that Dusty Berry question. It looks like he really had to think it over in real life to come up with how he wanted to word it when they asked him what he thought of the Dusty, you know, who was going to win between Dusty and Berry. And then he actually, says Lex has to get to Flair early, things like that. But it does look like he didn't know that question was coming, kind of.
He may not have. I mean, you never know with David Crockett. He just could have just threw it at him and spurred a moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how Crockett is. I mean, I don't know. You never know. So with all that said, that is how the episode pretty much wraps up with Gary Hart out there, and that's it. So We need to rate this thing and give out some Rolexes. Before we do so, I want to remind everyone the holiday season is upon us. This show drops on November 7th, 2019. We are just 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving as of this airing. So I wanted to say, please use our Amazon referral link if you're doing your holiday shopping. That's tinyurl.com/BTTAmazon. Look, if you can't afford becoming a Patreon member, we understand. If you can't afford, I don't know, anything, that we understand. But the thing is, if you shop on Amazon, please use the Amazon referral link. It's a way to support the show without spending anything extra. So again, tinyurl.com/BTTAmazon. I think I'm going to go first with the, I'm going to give out the Rolex first this week. I got to go with Flair.
Yeah.
I got to go with Flair. Who are you giving yours to, Harper?
How can it not be Flair?
I struggle for anybody else, but I agree. Lance, what about you? We know you ain't giving it to Arn, even though he didn't have a promo.
I wrote 4 names down, and I said I'm going to choose it at the last second after we watch it. I wrote down Cornette, Morton, Flair, and Dusty, because I did think, Dusty's, on a roll. But I kind of got, I got to give it to Cornette. He went on the whole match and then did an interview. So he's hotter than hell. So I really got to give it to Cornette. But Flair, it's right up there, Cornette and Flair, But I'll go with Cornette today.
All right. So 2 for Rick.
And I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A+ show if I was in 1988, and I would be ready to watch this damn show. They put everybody on there. They weren't that long as squash matches today. Everybody pushing it. I think it was an A+ info commercial.
Okay, great as an infomercial. I'm gonna give it a B+. It wasn't a bad episode, but you could tell. I mean, if you watched it back then, you'd give it an A+. But it was pretty much a big infomercial, and there was nothing earth-shattering here, but it was solid. Harper, what about you?
I'll give it a B.
All right.
It was a fucking infomercial, but fuck it. It was only an hour.
Yeah. Damn right. Only an hour. Yeah. How refreshing and sweet that is. I mean, I got to say.
Yeah.
The first thing I ask you. That's what I asked you when you asked me to be on the show. I was like, how long's that episode?
How long's the episode? Speaking of things only being an hour long, our Lance and I's world-class shows that we do are generally about an hour long unless we start talking miscellaneous and extra topics. And you can get all those shows at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Again, that's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. That is the best way to support this show, especially if you want extra content. Over 200 plus episodes available on our Patreon feed. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. If you're a Patreon member, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Your support does not go unnoticed. And again, the Great American Bash pay-per-view is coming up. It will drop a day or two after this one. Just say November 10th to be safe. We haven't recorded it yet, but just say November 10th to be safe. It'd probably be up by the 9th, though. So there you go. We're wrapping up here. Lance, you got any closing thoughts? We appreciate you joining us and not saying anything about Arn. I'm glad. I need to protect you from our listeners. I don't want them,
that's just me on Arn. Hey, I know he's great. I know he can talk and stuff, but I just that's just me. Hey, listen, I'm going to throw you a curveball right here. Any of y'all, there's got to be somebody listening that's trying to start their own business or something like that. And I know this is crazy coming from me right now, but if you listen to Byron Allen on Mark Maron's podcast from about a couple months ago, and you see how he created his empire from being 15 and writing for Jimmy Walker through owning the Weather Channel now and having like 45 TV shows on the air right now. It's an incredible story of him sitting in his dining room, calling all these TV stations. Him working for opening for Sammy Davis Jr. and Sammy Davis Jr.'s dad summoning him to come to the back and giving him some advice. It's an incredible story, and I know that's wild. I'm out of nowhere that I'm saying that, but if you're starting your own business, need a little motivation, man, it's a freaking insane thing. And Byron Allen, I know I'm older than everybody. He was on a TV show in the late 70s, early 80s called Real People. And that's kind of been his high profile thing, rather than doing this talk show in the middle of the night that was syndicated. But it's a hell of a story.
The comedian, right?
Yeah, it is. You're gonna be wowed over. I mean, he's just a billionaire. He's got a huge lawsuit going with the Supreme Court right now. That's an incredible story. I just think that anybody listening to this, it's a hell of a story.
So there you go. Check it out. Listen to Lance. He's not just a.
You'll thank me for that one.
a fake SMU fan. He's actually not a SMU fan at all. So there you go. We broke kayfabe again. He does not follow SMU.
I don't hate him. But I got other things rocking and rolling.
He loves SMU as much as Harper and I love Tulane football. Yeah, there you go. There it is. There it is.
And you heard me put over the Saints today. So there you go.
That's the only reason why you and Doc are not the same person. I must say. So, Lance, I want to say something to you for joining us this week. Thank you for
be blessed and be a blessing.
Dropping sound drops again, as you can see in the last couple of weeks. We appreciate it. You are blessed and a blessing to us all. And with that said,
I'll see once I see what y'all said about me before I got on the show today.
What?
I don't know. I guess I'll have to go back and listen.
Well, no, we didn't talk bad about you.
And I want a video. I want a tweeted video of Harper every week on something. You need. We got to have some more of that. That's it's good stuff.
Harper cuts
the sky is blue and the pecker still works. Hey.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
That was an awesome. That was an awesome line, Harper. You were like, I mean, Zion, we got the Zion news, and then you go, well, Zion's hurt, so we haven't seen Zion yet, but whatever. The sky is blue and his pecker still works, so whatever.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
All right, so we did our best Buddy Landell impression, which is...
Now, I'm one of these guys that can't just fuck something up. I got to fuck it all the way up.
Okay. Yeah, we did that tonight. And with that said, I got one more thing before I get Harper to hit the tagline. This is for you, Steven Javorski. You asked for some sound drops.
Yeah, I say. Baby's got a pot roast on.
Well, baby's got a pot roast on, so us three need to get out of here. So, Harper, you want to hit that tagline, take us home?
Book it, bitch.
Before we get out of here, I want to say thank you to all of our patrons out there for supporting this show and making this show possible twice per week, every single week with the Smoky Mountain shows and the NWA shows. And, look, I know you get extra shows, but ultimately, when you are a patron for us and support us on Patreon, we thank you because it does help the 8 free shows as well. So I know we do extra stuff, but with that said, patrons out there such as yourself, thank you for being patrons. And if you're not one, remember, become one at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Over 200 plus episodes are available on Patreon for you to enjoy and listen to extra stuff that we've done, wrestling stuff, non-wrestling stuff. And when I say non-wrestling stuff, it's nothing political or social things in the world. It's just Harper, Doc, and I having tons of fun talking about just utter stupidity for entire episodes. So that's what you have to look forward to. There's a lot there. The Dallas Cowboys ring rat house. Harper talking about the worst places to take a dump. So much stuff that's available on Patreon. Now, I also want to say a special shout out to our Hall of Fame Patreon members, Don Dipponet, Lee Russell, MDQ for Life, George Davis, Kevin Carter, Michael Angel, Bob Richards, Rocky Suazo, Christopher Champer, Will Harkey, Robbie Dyson, Rick Beebe, Brad Duknife, and Tom Schlegel, Coach Joey Chase, a.k.a. Willie Chase, Steve Malbasa, LaRon Brown, Kenny Byersdorf, Glenn Abbott at GA WrestleNut on Twitter, Bobby Murray, Marlon Mueller at HeffPoints Point on Twitter. Keep cutting those promos, kid. You're the man, Marlon. Thank you, man. I appreciate your support. Long time. Josh Warren, you too, long-time supporter. Everett Starr, Mike Childry, Kyle Riley, Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Craig Norman, Johnny on Patreon, the great John Dean at YRC21 on Twitter, Josh Dunn, Ryan in Auburn, good old Justin, Robert Smith, Joseph Ice, Tim Morecci, the BTT Research Department, Adam Price, Brian Evans, Mark Wilson, Armando Martinez, David Jordan, Jesse Jacobs, Chris Myers, Gerald Green, Mitchell Johnson, Mike Prue from the Bottom Line Cast. Make sure y'all check that show out. Him and JV do a great job. And Mike Prue is also a co-host on the ECW Extreme Live Cast on our Patreon feed. Will Parker, Jeremy Bryant, Classy Alex, David DeVries, SV Padgham, Bill Sousa, Big Rich at Spyboy Sportscap, Ari Miller 39, Jay Shiny, Ruben Espinoza, Merciless Jones, Jesse Lucas, Chris Browning, Justin _Andrade, Coleman822, Marty Howell, T-Hog94, Godbold Unreal. Thank you for all of your support. And lastly, like always, thank you to everyone. I can't forget, check out the Bottom Line Cast with Mike Prue and JV. They have a podcast series where they're getting close to the end, but they've chronicled the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin month by month and on a weekly basis. It's a really good show. They basically just go through Stone Cold's entire career. I say entire career, it's mostly his WWF stuff, but Mike and JV also do the ECW show on our Patreon feed, and that show they do on their free feed. Just search the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast or go on to Twitter at Bottom Line Cast and you can find them. Thank you everyone for all of your support. That's it. We're going to get out of here. You know what Harper always says when we get out of here? Book it, bitch.